Hey YouTube, it's Landon with Order the Traveling Hats, and today we're gonna add more equipment to the Jeep. So, I ordered a rack for the bed. I've been, I think talking in previous videos about different permutations, different ideas I had for bed management and bed storage. We did put the soft topper on the Jeep already, but I actually met a company at the Midwest Overland Expo back in April, I guess, up in Springfield, Missouri, called Xtrusion Overland, and they make a really cool bed rack that uses 80/20 aluminum extrusions with some brackets that they've made. This basically allows the rack to be universal. You can do whatever you want with it. It's kind of like a big erector set for Jeeps. We can literally make it do whatever we want. So I ordered one from them. The ordering process is a little bit weird. You do order online, but then they kind of shipped it to me. I waited about 6 weeks and I got a box. It was a little tiny box. It just had the hardware in it. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I got another box. And then a couple days after that, I got another box. So now I've pretty much got the whole roof rack. I'm actually still missing a few parts from Xtrusion Overland. They're gonna come. I've emailed them. But their shipping is a little bit of a mishmash, it seems. That's kind of the weak point. But the product is super cool. And the quality seems to be top notch, just getting the things out of the box and looking at the way they're finished and stuff. So today we're gonna assemble that. We're gonna get it put on my Jeep. It's supposed to be compatible with the soft top we've already got on there, so the two systems work together. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. So we're gonna now take you over here and look at the rack. I've kind of got it laid out the way the parts are gonna go. And then we'll kind of start putting it together, show you how it goes together, and get it on the Jeep and show you how that works. All right, so here's the rack basically laid out in the garage. It's got a lot of parts to it, but not really maybe as many as you think. So the long kind of dimensional pieces are the actual rack itself. It's made out of 80/20 extruded aluminum. That stuff's kind of an industrial product that they make things in factories for to mount equipment to, make workbenches, etc. It's kind of cut to length. It can come in really long lengths. These have been cut down. And it's got some slots in it that you get these little T-nuts that go into, and then you can bolt things onto it. So it kind of bolts together using that system. It comes from a couple different companies. The guys, when I met them up at the Overland Expo, said they actually had an extrusion machine that they had bought and they were going to start making their own extrusion. I don't know if this is their own or if this is still the bought stuff, but they did say that was their plan. So if we move up to here and kind of come down to this stuff, this is where they really kind of make their money. So they have designed brackets that are going to mount onto the bed here, basically in the bed management system, and come out over the bed rail, and then the rack will mount here, and the soft topper stops about here. So it's just gonna mount with the rack kind of sitting over the soft topper using these brackets. But they got the angles right. There's an angle here, and they kind of bent this over and got all the dimensions correct. Now, I will be honest, I had thought about doing something like this on my own. I'd kind of done some paper sketches, but the brackets I never could figure out. They've also got these brackets here that are basically milled aluminum that they've then finished and powder coated. They're very well made. And they get the angle right so it kind of follows the contour of the cab, and the rack isn't just kind of this square thing on the back. So again, they've worked all this out. They've thought all this stuff through. It's really well made. And I think it's going to be a great product. It's just fantastic looking the way they finished it. The handles that I ordered, you order these separately. You can get as many of these as you want, but they aren't plastic. They're a solid piece of milled aluminum. They should be very, very strong and able to hold me up if I need to crawl up on the rack or use them to kind of get into the bed. I think they're going to actually be really, really handy to have. So I got a pair of them, and I can always order more and put them wherever I want, because you can just literally, they sit on a rail and you bolt them in and you're done. So you could put, I don't know, you can put them anywhere you want. So very cool there. The rest of this in this box is just kind of coupling plates to kind of couple the rails together. There's some corner brackets to kind of couple things together this way. And then a bunch of T-nuts and fasteners and some Loctite. All of that came with the kit. Like I said, this was the first box to arrive, is this little box. And then it had all these brackets in it. And then I got one box that had the short pieces in it, and then another box that had these longer pieces in it. They came in 3 separate boxes, 3 separate days, separated by like, I don't know, 3 weeks. And I'm still missing a couple of pieces. They aren't critical. They're just kind of some reinforcing brackets that I did order, and Xtrusion Overland is shipping those to me. They just aren't here yet. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. assembling this rack together and kind of show you how we do that, and then we're going to put it on the Jeep and get it ready to install. Okay guys, so we got the rack assembled, and it's stupid strong. We can stand on it, and I'm bouncing on it. It gives just a smidge. I can feel it under my legs, but it's basically able to hold me up, no problem. This rack is incredibly strong. I kind of had my doubts a little bit just because of it being aluminum and it being kind of this extruded stuff, but this stuff's no joke. It's not that heavy. It weighs a little bit, but it's not bad. I bet it weighs maybe 50, 60 pounds. But it's crazy strong. And we haven't Loctited the joints together yet. We just kind of got it all put together so we can see how it looks and make our measurements and stuff. It's rock solid. These, we use these angle brackets on. We have these bottom plates for the outside. We're gonna leave those kind of fixed. And then these, we can easily get to the bolts, so we can actually slide them back and forth if we want to and adjust. One of the things that we did was, I'm running this Gazelle tent that I want to be able to carry, and I think I told you guys in the tent video, which we're gonna post the tent video right up here somewhere. But the Gazelle tent doesn't fit in the bed. It's just a little bit too long if you get the T4. So I wanted to be able to carry it on the roof rack. That was always the plan. So all we did was we just set it up here as a test, and we just kind of slid this to length so I can get some cleats that'll go in these T-slots that I can anchor down and then just strap it on and be good to go. We can do all sorts of things. We've got, a case that we want to mount. We got a case over here that we're going to mount. I think we're going to end up mounting it kind of to the side right here. And it's going to work like a toolbox that I can just kind of open up and get to my recovery gear. We're going to have to drill some holes in this case, but it's going to go right in those T-slots and just bolt right in. Literally this thing, the sky is the limit on what you can kind of imagine to do with it. And man, you can do whatever you want. You can get some T-slot bolts and bolt a shovel to it. You can get roto packs for it. You can do just literally whatever you want. And it's strong enough to support that load, no problem. It's going to last forever. Probably outlast the Jeep. We're gonna get the Jeep in here next. We gotta get kind of maybe the soft topper off, I'm not really sure yet. And we gotta get the brackets for the rack installed in the bed rail system so we can get the rack on. So we're gonna cut away, get the Jeep in here, and then we'll be back to do that part. Hey guys, I'm back. I've had the rack on the Jeep for about a week and a half now. I've been driving around with it. We did go out to the Ozarks with it once and explore for the day. It is still super tight on the Jeep, no loose connections anywhere. We kind of wanted to shake it down a little bit before we closed this video out and showed you guys the finished product. There are a couple areas that I still need to adjust a little bit. I finally got the corner brackets from Xtrusion Overland that we had alluded to during the install. They don't quite clear on the back of the rack due to the soft topper. I'm gonna have to do something about that and find some adjustment in the rack. I think it's there. I think I can make that work. I'm just gonna have to kind of fiddle with it a little bit. Not a huge deal. Also, the center rail sections rub the soft topper just in one spot at where one of the crossbows comes across, and I think there's adjustment up there. That's a job for this weekend actually, to get that adjustment and kind of fixed so that it doesn't touch anymore. It hasn't damaged anything yet, but I think if I leave it there, it's ultimately going to kind of damage that soft topper, so I want to fix that. But overall, very pleased with the product. Xtrusion Ovrlnd has made a phenomenal rack system that is very easy to put on. If you can go to IKEA and get flat packed furniture, you can put this on. We didn't really even have to consult the instructions that much. The pieces just kind of go together, and it's pretty obvious what you're supposed to do. It's infinitely configurable, as we said earlier in the video, and I've got stuff coming for it to be able to do that. It's just not here yet. COVID and shipping and everything being what it is, and I wasn't really 100% sure exactly where I wanted to put everything. I'm still not, so now I'm just kind of getting some stuff and going to start playing with the rack a little bit. But I'm going to make sure and show you guys that as we go, so you can kind of see how I'm doing it and hopefully get some ideas on how you can do it. So that's going to about close the video out. If you guys would, please like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification tab and leave a comment. It certainly does help us grow the channel. If anything else, it motivates us to keep making content so you guys can watch it. Hope you guys got something out of this. I'm Landon. This is Order the Traveling Hats, and we hope to see you guys out there.